for the stills. 1 second. Thank you. Videographers, hold them up there, please, still, gentlemen. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to President of Basketball Operations, Danny Ainge.
Thank you for being here, everybody. I'd like to welcome Kemba's family and friends. Just want to stand up and just wave to everybody. Doorbell, could you stand up again, please? These pants are being sold in the gift shop. And we'd like to welcome Enes's manager, Hank. Stand up, say hi. When we got done with the draft and we started our preparation for free agency, as we started planning for Plan A, our Plan A was Kemba Walker and Enes Kanter. And we're very fortunate that they chose the Boston Celtics. And very excited about what they bring in many facets of the game, but also as people. And who they are is just as important as what they are on the court and what they represent. And with that, I will introduce the Zing. Wait, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Just to welcome these two great people of high character who chose the Celtics for the tradition and pride and for the fans. And I look forward to success with them on and off the court, and I appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, we're just extremely excited and appreciate the work that Danny and the staff have done to get these great players to come here. I can't wait for the season to start.
With that, we'll open it up with questions.
Just raise your hand. We do have microphones to be passed around by either Clancy or Aiden. Just give us a shot.
You mind passing this down?
Thank you.
Yeah, this question is for Kemba. In your decision to sign with Boston, can you just address some of the factors that weigh in that decision?
Yeah, for me, is the competitiveness of this organization. They've been winning for years. I mean, you see all the fans upstairs and in the arena. It's a winning organization. I want to win. That's what I'm about. Throughout my basketball career and as a pro, I haven't won consistently, and I just want to get a taste of that. And I thought this was the best place for me to do that.
And just a quick follow-up to that. Same question to you, Enes, and also the choosing of the jersey number. Why did you pick number 11?
Well, it was my old jersey number, by the way, number 11. And I want to be the reason that no one else would. I have to say it.
Also, if you could please state your name and affiliation, if you could please. Thank you very much. Before you ask a question.
Bob Haller, WCTV Channel 5. Enes, this question is for you, here in the back.
Okay.
Did you legit just sign your contract about 40 minutes ago, and how much do you love social media?
Yeah, I'm very excited about it, man. I do love social media, as you guys know. But I'm definitely very excited to be here, man. Just met the ownership and just got coaching some of the players. The first word comes to my mind is family, and it's been amazing. It's my second hour here, and from the first hour, everybody just opened their arms, gave me a warm welcome. So I'm definitely very excited to be here, man.
I won't be following him on social media. I don't have enough time in the day.
I post a lot.
Bob Sharon from the Citizen, or Coach Stevens. Were you taking notes when Kemba was scoring 60 against you during the season?
He didn't get to 60 against us, but he got up there. He got to 60 the game before us, and it's always a bad feeling when the best player on the other team in the game you're going to play the next game is going like that. I've been a fan of Kemba for a long time. Saw Kemba play in high school on the AAU circuit. Remember those New York Gauchos teams well. Obviously, saw him too close and personal when he was at Connecticut, and you know, I've always been a huge fan of his, and not just the way he plays, but as a person, as a competitor. You know, got a chance to coach him for one day already in his career at the All-Star game a few years ago. And, you know, just being around him and knowing everybody that's coached him, you know, he has all the stuff that the best have. And he's worked really hard to put himself in the position he's in, and we're happy he's here.
Can I just do a follow-up with Kemba? I know you're wrestling with staying with Charlotte. Can you just talk about some of those thoughts that led to you making that's a major career change?
Yeah, it was, I mean, I would definitely say it was one of the hardest decisions of my life, of course. You know, Charlotte's all I know. I've been there for 8 years. But like I said, you know, it really came down to, you know, my happiness and, you know, how I want to compete night in, night out. Like I said in the past, you know, I gave that organization everything I've had, you know, every single night. My time was up there. You know, I'm ready to start a new chapter, especially here with the Celtics. You know, everybody I went to UConn and stuff like that. So the transition is a little bit easier because I kind of know the area just a tad bit. But I'm excited. I'm happy I made this decision. People around here, super cool. It's a lot of love. So I definitely made the right choice.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. Kemba, over here to your left. Yeah. Brad has talked often about meeting you in the Final Four. He talked about earlier in the Gauchos. What have you noticed about his teams that's maybe attracted you to them?
I know that point guards are very successful. Score a lot. But yeah, the point guards are very successful. He's a great coach. I know he watched tons of film, and that's just from being around him. Just for a few days, I know that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get things going and learn to him some more, him learning me more. I only got a chance to play against him, so it's still a lot that we both have to learn from each other, and we'll get there. There's nothing more important to me than having a great relationship with your head coach. So we'll get there.
Sharp Blakely, NBC Sports Boston. Kemba, the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk around here about leadership, and just curious, what's your leadership style? And also, same question to you, Enes.
I think it just depends on the situation. I'm not a rah-rah guy. If I have something to say, I'm gonna say it though. But I'm more of a guy who say things in a positive way. Everybody's different. You can talk to guys in a different way. But yeah, I just let things flow. I feel like if I'm doing something, if I'm working hard, I feel like that's how guys have to be. I try to lead by example for the most part. That's the kind of guy I am. Never gonna really scream at anybody or anything like that. But yeah, I think chemistry is important. I think the team has to be together. That's one thing that throughout my career, I try to do team activities and small things like that. But yeah, I'm more of a lead by example kind of guy.
And for me, it's about to for I always see the head coach as a leader. And I agree with Kemba too. And I think there was after the free agency, just he called me. Actually, he was one of the biggest reasons that Kemba was one of the biggest reasons I came here, and that shows what kind of leader he is. So I'm very happy about that.
And so I was actually just going to ask you about that call that Kemba gave you. What was discussed in that conversation? How much of an impact did that?
Yeah, so he didn't call me in his phone. He called me in Danny's phone. So he called me. I answered the phone. It was like a deep voice. And I was like, "Who's this?" He's like, "That's Kemba, man. We want you to be here, and we're very excited about it." And I was like, that made me very excited. It feels special, and obviously, he's a all-star guy like him and a superstar like him, and just called me and just saying, hey, we want you to be here. That for me very special. It's like I talked to my manager and said, I think this is the place that I want to play for.
And Kemba, I had a question for you too. I know that you've kind of begun building relationships with a couple of the guys. Like you've known Gordon for a while, and you just spent some time with Jason in Paris. How much do you think that will help you with the transition? Just are they?
I'm easy to get along with. I mean, yeah, I've known Gordon for quite some time now. Jason, we just got back from Paris. We were both together. He just signed with Jordan Brand, so we spent some time together. I know Jalen Brown as well a little bit. We went to Africa together a few years ago, so we, kind of built a relationship. But yeah, I've been seeing a few of the guys around here. It'll be easy for me, to get along with everybody. I'm looking forward to it.
Any other final questions?
It's Rams. Can you just go back on last season's playoffs and what that journey was like for you? It just seemed, I know, having listened to you in different interviews in the locker room, how committed you are to winning. Was that, can you talk about that?
It was definitely one of the big reasons that I wanted to come here, because I understand for money, whatever it would be important, but I think for me, my career is most definitely winning, just going out there having fun and playing comfortable. And so I was of course coming here playing against Boston Celtics, and I hated it every time I come here because the fans were always going crazy. So in the locker room before the games, the coach was always saying, "Don't let the fans get into your head," because obviously it's an amazing crowd. But that playoff comes with a lot of experience for sure. We made the Western Conference Finals, and it just made me definitely a better player.
This question is for you, Brad. Kemba talked about just watching your teams and how guards get buckets. That's how they do. How do you see Enes fitting in to your system going forward?
Well, I mean, we've been fortunate enough to have some really effective bigs that had the ability to both post and play on the perimeter. I think one of the things about Enes has always given us fits with, first of all, his energy and effort to run the floor. Secondly, on the block with his variety of moves. Right when he sets you up with that left shoulder jump hook, he'll spin to the baseline over his right. And then the other thing is that he's destroyed us on the glass. Where he hasn't hurt us quite as much as behind the line, and then I saw him shooting in here a couple weeks ago, and it looked pretty good too. So he just brings a lot of different ways that you can take advantage of his skill sets. There's not a lot of guys in the NBA right now who can take advantage of a post mismatch or even to post at their position. And he's one of the guys that you can throw it to, and he demands attention with his ability to score and rebound. And he's been a very willing passer. I thought he did an unbelievable job in the playoffs of setting up his teammates with screens and passes when he drew the attention.
It is to your right. Gary Ross from the Boston Globe. Obviously a major life decision for you. Were you able to talk to anyone in your family about it? And how tough is it not to have them here? And how has the last year changed you as a person in terms of being kind of a hero to some and enemy to others?
Yeah. Well, I think, I cannot talk to him, but my brother is here in America, and he talked to my family about, Boston Celtics and everything, and they were very excited because, obviously, they're winning culture, amazing team, and all the history and stuff. They were very, very excited and happy about it. But it is, yes, like you said, it was a very tough situation, but, I think what I'm doing is definitely worth it because all I'm trying to do do is try to be voice of all those innocent people who don't have one. So I'm trying to stand for human rights, democracy, and freedom.
Quick question for Kemba over here. Joe Giza, WBZ TV. A lot of longtime Celtics fans have kept their Antoine Walker jerseys. Excited to see you wear number 8. Was there any? I know there's a lot of numbers left.
Yeah.
Was there any thought? How'd you pick number 8? I know your old number is
It was hard. You know, it's no numbers available, but every number's retired. But yeah, the reason I'm wearing 8 is because my birthday's May 8th, so and 8 was available. So you know, I just went with it. But yeah, it's cool to wear Antoine Walker's number. I spoke to him, so he gave me the blessing as well. So yeah, I'm excited.
Mark, you have one? That's it, Mark.
Enes, everything considered, what is your travel situation? You are in a division where you'll be going to Toronto twice.
So when I was in Portland, you know, that was one of the conversations if we would have made the NBA Finals, it was going to travel to Toronto or not. Well, the important U.S. Senator, Mr. Ron White, you know, just sent a letter to the Canadian government, and they said, you know, we don't see any issue coming to our country. So I'm actually going to meet with Senator Mr. Markey next week. So I'm just going to talk to him about some of the stuff, some of the issues, and just I don't think it will be a problem. But we'll see.
Dave Borges, New Haven Register. Kemba, you're from New York, played at UConn. This is Boston, obviously it's not home, but does it feel like a little bit sort of like a homecoming in the sense that you're back in the Northeast, a lot of UConn fans are?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, Boston, you know, whenever I played against Boston and we, you know, warming up at the arena and stuff like that, I always see a bunch of UConn jerseys. When they call my name, always get a good ovation. They don't boo me much. So, yeah, I'm super excited to be back. Not only get a chance to play in front of, you know, the Boston fans, but the UConn fans as well. And I get a chance to see Coach Calhoun a little bit more as well. So, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Tim Bondos from ESPN. Danny, two things. You said your plan A was to get Enes and Kemba in free agency after the draft. What led you to choose to take that direction? And also, the last partnership with a star point guard you guys had didn't go quite the way you wanted, you guys in terms of how it ended. Why do you think this one's going to be different?
So first of all, I mean, the last point guard we had, it didn't end like we wanted this year, but certainly wasn't his fault. He was just one piece of the whole team. But you know, getting Kemba as a top priority in free agency was. I've been watching Kemba also since he was at UConn, and fell in love with him at the Maui Classic in his junior year, where I think the whole world realized how good he was then. But I was sitting there front row watching very closely, and it was very exciting. And just had great respect for him throughout his career and what he's accomplished. And again, not just his all-star appearances and his quality play, but who he is as a person and as a teammate. So I'm very excited to have Kemba. So Kemba was a guy that we targeted as a guy, and then we knew we had limited resources if we were going to even be able to create the space, because that has not really been our plan all along, is to have cap space in free agency. And you know, we needed a big guy, and Enes was on the board, and you know, we were worried someone was going to pay him a lot more money than we had available, and he probably could have got more money in some other places. And so we're grateful that he chose us. We wanted him and we went after him, but he chose to be here, and we're excited about that.
Question for Kemba. Ian Steele, ABC6 in Providence. Kemba, what kind of influence did Michael Jordan have on you as a player?
I mean, he had a great influence on me. First of all, he drafted me. He gave me my opportunity to play in this league, allowed me to play through mistakes, allowed me to grow as a person, as a man. So yeah, man, I mean, I love that dude. That's my guy. We have a great relationship, and yeah, I will forever love him, you know, because of the opportunity he gave me.
Thank you, gentlemen. What we'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the campers for sharing.